So can I ask one other question on the trust? Do you
Yeah.
recommend a trust? Okay, so let's say the wife is a school teacher and the husband works at a factory. Do you recommend that they get a trust? Just regular blue collar Americans.
Okay, so you told me their jobs.
Yeah.
What I would ask, I would need a little more information. If
Okay.
they own a house.
Yes, they own a house. A
So if
nice.
they own a house, then once you own a house and has some equity in it, then yes, it usually makes sense to do a trust.
Okay, got it. So if you, so really, it's not about how much you make or what your profession is or your level of education. It's, do you own a house? And if the answer is yes, then you should get a trust, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
or any other assets.
Okay.
And then the other kind of the two things is, one is, so the first part is, do you have anything? And then number two, I would say, is there anyone you care about? It sounds kind of weird, right? But meaning, like, are you married? Now, more importantly, are you not married but have a significant other, right? If you've been living with someone for 20 years, Arizona does not recognize common law marriages.
Okay.
So that's someone that you care about that has no protection under the law.
Interesting. Okay.
So it's really important in those situations that you take charge and say, what's going to happen, especially like if you're living in a house together. Here's the most devastating thing I see a lot. You probably see it too. But the most devastating example of no estate planning is when we'll say a husband passes away, leaving a surviving spouse, no estate planning, and that husband had kids from a prior relationship. So what that means, if there's no will and there's a kids from a prior relationship, it means half goes to his kids. It sucks. I can't tell you how many times I've explained this to bawling widows, where they're like, he said he was taking care of me, but it's like, sorry, the reality is that his kids are entitled to half.
Okay.
Now, sometimes those kids will agree and give their share to the spouse. Sometimes they don't.
I was going to say, I bet not often, Rilus.
Actually, often, I would say.
Really?
There's a lot of good people.
All right.
I mean, we remember the other ones worse, but it does happen a lot, which is nice to see. There are a lot of people that will go, okay, yeah, this is what my dad wanted. I understand. Yeah, but unfortunately, there's a lot of times where they go, I don't care. I never liked you. I'm entitled to this and I want it. So
interesting.
So yeah, that's why it's really important to do your estate planning if the default rules don't take care of you. So meaning, if you're married and there's no kids from a prior relationship, by default, everything would go to your spouse. They would have to go through probate, but a lot of people don't realize if they have kids from a prior relationship, they're actually, by default, 50% beneficiaries.